For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the Heedy Postgame Show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey. Welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield post-game show. I'm your host, Todd Fox. Thank you first and foremost to Rob for checking in yesterday, filling in for me. Man, I had something yesterday that the Angels couldn't do in the last two games. I had the runs. So I produced the runs while the Angels did not produce any. You're talking 3 runs in the last 2 games. They got outscored seems like 60 to nothing. Currently, your team is producing at a 230 with runners in scoring position. It's mind-boggling to think how bad they are in Houston, and let alone this year when the Angels are again just this bad with runners in scoring position, scoring in general. The pitching's been very, very bad at times, but it's been good enough to at least keep the team in ball games, as we saw yesterday. Today, same thing. 2 good starts in a row, I think. Versus a team who can hit and has been hitting and is in first place. So, as far as that's concerned, look, this is the dog days of summer. For all those that are on right now, we are by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We still go to the games with you, because you guys are the diehards that are still following, trying to see if this team will improve, although they are 9 games under 500, and they're terrible. It's a terrible watch. And with the NFL right around the corner, with hockey right around the corner, hell, the NBA will be starting up at some point. You got a lot of options. And this is the thing facing baseball fans in markets that just aren't producing. And that's what we are facing as a Angels fan. It sucks that we're put in this position. It seems like yearly. It doesn't matter what team we put together. It's been like this for now 11 years of not making the playoffs, 10 years since being obviously with a winning record. So they won tonight in a 4-1 game where they had 1 hit going into the 8th inning. 1. And that was Zach Neto's home run in the 3rd inning. Other than that, they did nothing. And again, let me just go over the numbers. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 run, 7 hits for the Astros. Peralta's big 2-run double in the 9th inning was the game winner. But when you think about things and how they pitched tonight, Kyle Hendricks, 6 innings pitch, quality start, 1 run, 7 hits, no walks. That's a key. 2 strikeouts. He's going to put the ball in play. You got nice bullpen pitching from Detmers, Fermin, and then Jansen. Angels struck out they struck out 14 more times. 14 more times. And this is a team that has all by itself is going to win for most strikeouts all year. You've got batting averages from supposed, great hitter Mike Trout, 228. Taylor Ward's your best hitter, supposedly, 228. Joe Adell's a rising star, 233. it's a shame. Ohapi's batting 223, Neto's batting 267. Everyone else is under 230, 220, 20. It's bad. Like, I'm running out of things to say because I'm frustrated watching this team, because at this point, if you've watched us as far as a podcast and you've listened to the episodes, you watched the episodes, um, you've heard our takes on here, you've heard our takes on uh, other shows. It's always been, when it comes to the GM, hey, because right now I'm putting Artie to the side. I don't even want to talk Artie. But I always get the hey, is Perry better than Epler? Is Perry better than Dipoto? And what you're seeing in Seattle, I'd say no, he's not better than Dipoto. Is he better than Epler? And me and Fernando would always go back and forth. And Fernando would say, no, Billy Epler's drafted more guys. Look at his guys that are in their organization. Look at the guys that Perry's gotten. And my thing was, well, how many pitchers did Epler develop? Not many. And then he was like, well, how many pitchers did Epler, did this guy, Perry do? Not many as well. We haven't produced a real starting pitcher through our farm system in forever. So it's constant looking at this team like, hey, are we going to get better? Are we going to just keep grinding our wheels? And he brought up a good point. And I had been on the Perry bandwagon this entire time. And I was saying, maybe Perry is the guy, but he needs more to play with. He needs more money to play with. But even if I look back at these GMs that came from, like, the one that's running the Dodgers right now, he ran the Tampa Bay Rays. All these small market ones can develop talent, can scout talent, can find the right players, could utilize these players. And I'm starting to look back at Perry's resume. I'm like, no, and no. He's not doing the things. Even if he's on a budget, he's not doing it right. And I kept looking at things like, man, Fernando's wrong. I think Epler was a tool, even bigger tool than what Perry is. And now I'm starting to say, I'm starting to, like, I was still backing Perry when people were like, hey, we need to fire Perry. You know what? Now I put my hands up. I'm done. When it comes to Perry, I will say this. And Fernando made a good point. If we fire the GM and keep Ron Washington, or if we hire a manager, keep Perry for one more year, and then fire the general manager. If that general manager comes in and doesn't like the manager we hired, then we're right back at square one. Which I would have to say this. It's time for a change. We gave him a 2-year extension. I think we need to fire Perry. I'm all in. Fire Perry. And I'll give you my reasons right now. Number one, to play off of Fernando's. If we fire Perry, we get a new general manager with a new plan, and he can go out there and hire a manager first, his guy. And that way the two are tied together at the hip, and whether they succeed or not is going to be up to them, but they're going to work really hard because they're together. They're a package. Perry and Ron were never a package. Joe Maddon and Perry were never a package. Nevin and Perry were never a package. So you need a manager in there, or a GM that's going to be there with a manager, not the other way around. So the point being this is I feel that Perry, he needs to go also with the reasons that he was there front and center. Now, whether it's you want to blame it on Artie, which you can, but you can sit there and say, okay, Artie Moreno's the reason why this team sucks, the reason why this team can't go anywhere, right? The reason why they've never gotten better. They just keep spinning their wheels. Well, for me, you still got to freaking get the players in, even if you can't hold them. I think the owner comes into when he comes into play, when you can't sign a big free agent, when you can't make a big trade. But my thing is this: if you fire Perry, then you get a new GM then there to hire a new manager. And I think that problem solves itself, because Perry lost me when he said that this team was competitive. Perry lost me. I don't care if it's man. Like, he should have came out with balls and said, you know what? I think that, um, Artie's telling me this team's competitive, but we need, we need more players. No, he straight up fell on the sword and said, hey, I'm going to be, I'm going to say it front and center. This team has enough to win. This team has enough to be better, and we're competitive. And since he said that, we have been swept twice. We've lost most of the series, and the only highlight we have is that 3-game winning streak. Other than that, and again, Perry's out here waxing poetic, saying that we're this, we're that, we're good. But what have you done, man? Like you've not helped this team out whatsoever get any better as far as starting pitching. And like any good organization will listen to its fans when we've been screaming on Reddit, on social media, on even on TV. We need pitching. We need pitching. We need pitching. And it's always out there that everyone's like, hey, did you see the rumor the Angels are in on this guy? The Angels are in that guy. No, they're not. No, they're not. That is the agents using the propaganda, using the SoCal feel that, hey, the Angels are in on it because, hey, wouldn't the player want to play in SoCal, in Los Angeles / Anaheim? Don't you want to play in SoCal? That the whole days of wanting to come here because this team was a winner are long gone. The whole days of coming here because the Angels had Shohei and Trout are gone. We're the little engine that doesn't want to pay money to ride the train. Again, why would you come here if you're a free agent? If you know how the organization runs itself, if you know how the owner is notoriously cheap, if you know how they're not willing to go out there and get free agents. And then when they do get free agents in a trade, look what they did in 2023. That was so disrespectful, getting rid of those guys the way they did. It was so disrespectful. You don't treat veterans like that. And that's what the Angels did. So I look at Jerry Dipoto. And again, for what everyone complains about Artie Moreno with good reason. But you look at the owner of the Mariners, and he's not exactly a beacon of shining light himself. Now, he doesn't have the background, doesn't have the court cases that Artie Moreno has. But for a guy who owns Nintendo, he's not exactly the most spending as far as cash. He should be, but he's not. I will give him this, though. He's given free reign to Dipoto, and Dipoto's put together quite a nice team up there. Dipoto was able to draft players, hire, scouts, trade for big market guys who they're going to have to either pay or they're taking on money. So you're able to, if the owner is at least 50% in, like the owner for the Mariners, you can get good product back in return if the general manager's working good with the owner and the owner with the general manager. But when the owner is, habitually undercutting whatever progress that the general manager can do, then you're going to have problems and you're never going to get the right kind of baseball team on the field. Instead, you're going to get what we got today. And again, this team is batting .230 with runners in scoring position. This team has the most strikeouts in all of baseball. This team ranks at the bottom of most offensive categories. And again, what blows my mind, the mediocre pitchers that we do have kept us in most games. Yes, there's been some blow-ups, but that should be with any organization. The fact of the matter is, you've got an aging Mike Trout who can't catch up to a fastball, who refuses to change his stance. And, well, if he wants to wait till next season, if he comes back with the same leg kick, look for the same results. They've already figured him out. The league has already caught up with him. Why he's so stupid not to change, I don't know. Are the egos this bad on this team that they cannot change what they are doing? Oh, wait. Yes, they are. Because if Trout can't change his stance and realize I've got a problem, look at the rest of the team. Why do we strike out so much? Why do you have stupid goobas on there say, don't drop a bunt, swing away? Because that's the motto of the team. That's the motto of the team. Nobody's trying to do the little things. We've talked about this. So if you're wondering why this team strikes out, it's easy to see. The problem's easy to fix. You need to gut this entire team. I'm all for just, hey, you know what? If it's not an usher, if it's not a freaking salesman inside the stadium and in the food courts, if it's not the security guards, fuck them all. Get rid of everybody in that wannabe office building in the front of the stadium. Gut the entire organization. If we're stuck with Artie, we're stuck with Artie. But gut everybody down to the medical staff. Fuck them too. Because again, I know you don't like the starting pitchers. I know you don't like the relievers. But if you had to pick between one, I think you can look at it like this. The pitching has been there more times than the hitting has. Let's just face it. Because at the end of the season, and again, yes, I agree with Skull Kid. Get a new pitching coach too. I want an entirely new staff. I don't want anybody laying over anymore. I was like, hey, let's keep Barry Enright. Now I've changed. Hey, let's keep Sal Fasano. No, fuck them. Get rid of them all. All of them got to go. Because this team could have been 500 to end the season, and that would have been a dramatic change, and that would have been a good change. But we're going to fall somewhere around 75 or less wins, and that's going to be a disappointment in my book. This team has put together some good players this season. They've been able to have some flashes of brilliance in the pitching staff. They've had some injuries as well. But you've got guys put together some nice seasons. Your Zach Nettos, your Joe Adells, your Taylor Wards, and so on and so on. You've had regressions from Mike Trout, and you've had regressions from Logan O'Hoppe, Louis Renifo. But it all can't be good at the same time. I get it. But you do need to make a change. Because the philosophy you have on these players is the reason why Mike Trout is batting .230. Is the reason why Taylor Ward is batting .230. Is the reason why Logan O'Hoppe's getting close to the Mendoza line. Because it's all or nothing. And we've talked about that all year. So just like Mike Trout can't get his shit together and can't adjust his swing, it's the same damn thing with the rest of this club when it comes up and down that lineup. They just can't do anything. Small ball's not preached. I don't want a coaching staff out there. I don't care if we have some of the best coaches of all time, managers and coaches, all of it. It's not going to change if you keep the same philosophy. And I know if you're looking at it like this, Bruce Bochy is most likely going to walk away. If you look at the way he managed in 2023 with the Rangers, that was vintage Bruce Bochy. All the players bought in for the Rangers. They had almost no injuries, and they had a gritty team that players had a lot of freaking good season. Like they had good seasons, and they were all on their tip-top shape. They were falling. They played small ball. I watched the Rangers that year. And they were putting together a great season, and it seemed like it was clicking up and down, right? Bruce Bochy winning a World Series, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's amazing for him to win a World Series, be on a World Series team with his third franchise. Everyone bought in. Everyone was doing their thing, right? And at some point, they took that away from him. At some point, you could tell last year, yes, they had their injuries, but they put together basically the same team. But what changed? A lot of dudes were trying to hit home runs. That's what changed. A lot of dudes got away from what got them to the World Series and winning it. So they weren't even close to repeating. They went to the analytics, and you could tell. A lot of the decisions that Bruce Bochy made last year were not Bruce Bochy. They were nerds that come from upstairs. And then this year, if you watch him, he's been tapped out since the beginning of the season. His press conferences are terrible to watch. He looks like he doesn't even want to be there. And I wouldn't want to be there either. If someone hired me for a specific job and said, hey, this is your responsibility, take care of it. Okay, so I get my desk and I get my office and I'm like, okay, I get to do this. Here's what I'm in charge of. This is how I'm going to lay it out. This is how I'm going to make this company money, and so on, right? But then all of a sudden the door opens up without even knocking, and some nerds come in and tell me, hey, that's great. This is your office. You're in charge, but we're going to be like the little Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder. So whenever a decision comes up, you got to check with us first. And we'll tell you, let our conscience be your guide. No, that doesn't work for me. And that doesn't work for Bruce Bochy and other veterans like that. Because if you're willing to work like that, you're throwing your ego aside. You're throwing what you built as a manager over decades, like Ron Washington did. He bent the knee. So did Phil Nevin. So did Joe Madden. If you read his book or listen to his podcast, he bent the knee. That wasn't Joe Madden either. But at some point, these organizations got to be like, this isn't fucking working. There's a reason why you only have 5 guys in this league batting 300. That's pathetic. You watch from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. You're talking 20 to 30 guys batting 300. Some guys batting 350. Because they weren't swinging for the fences all the goddamn time. Some weren't waiting like Mike Trout to go to 0-2 and then start swinging. Some actually put in the time to be a good hitter, a great hitter, a contact hitter. Where's the putting in the time of any of these 2025 morons? It's not here. Bilson says the only decision-making control they gave Madden was his haircut. And even they took that away from him. He wasn't able to debut the Mohawk. But this is what we get, ladies and gentlemen. And Bruce Bochy, this Major League Baseball is going to lose another great veteran manager. Why do you think there's dissent in Atlanta? You've heard the stories about the pitchers getting upset because he couldn't see an injury happening. He's checked out, dude. He's tired of the analytics down there too. As far as TikTok's concerned, it's 50-50 on the Artie thing. There's nothing to talk about right now until it goes to court. There's really nothing else to speculate. There's no new news, nothing. We don't know until he goes to court or until the audit comes in. Otherwise, it's just wait and see. It's just wait and see, dude. And it sucks, but that's the only thing we have to rest our hats on right now. But I'm looking at like this, not to get my hopes up. I want to see a team without Artie, but realistically, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, let's just presume that there is Artie Moreno for the foreseeable future. Because then that would give us the excuse to be like, okay, let's talk about how we're going to get a new GM in here and a new manager, and how are we going to get away from analytics? How are we going to force those nerds off the damn shoulder of our manager? See, there's Deuces Wild said, hey, Todd, been missing the podcast. I think I've given up on the season. The season's gone, guys. It's been gone for a while. And I'm not telling you not to tune out because obviously we're going to be here. But to think that this team's going to make the playoffs, you can't do it. Can't think that at all. And you got to hope that we get a clean house in the end of the offseason. And then the best case scenario would be already getting screwed over in all those cases. But again, don't count on it. The good guy never wins. The bad guy will always win. And until proven wrong and a good guy actually wins every now and then, and the auditor can come in there and help the city of Anaheim, because the city of Anaheim's not exactly angels themselves. However, if they win, you got to obviously root for the lesser of the two evils. You got to hope that the city of Anaheim wins, and then we could just nail freaking, kick his ass out of here, Artie, because he ain't going to be able to afford anything. Anyway, I went over the totals and everything else like that. Let's get into the comments. First off, let's see, player of the game. I think we're going to give it to Peraza just for the hell of it. So he gets the Golden Stamos. I'm not supposed to give it away before, but I gave it to Peraza. He had the big double in the 10th inning or 9th inning to give the Angels the win. As far as guys who had bad nights, I mean, look at 14 strikeouts for the Angels. Zach Neto's striking out way too much. Again, he shouldn't be leading off. He should be batting 3 or 4. He should have a 290 average, but they're swinging too wildly up there. 3 more strikeouts for Adell, 2 more for Taylor Ward. Pretty pathetic tonight. But as far as the Nacho night, I'm going to give it to this guy. If I can find the right slide. There it is.
For the worst performance of the night. Congratulations. You played yourself.
Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
There you go, right there. The Angels Nacho Night Award goes to Mr. Brian Abreu. Now, Halo fan says, is Trout done? Trout is Nacho Award. Trout is done unless he changes his batting stance. You're going to get the same shit tomorrow because the league has checked in and they've checked him out, and there's nothing there that scares you anymore about Mike Trout. Mike Trout will be this kind of Mike Trout if he does not put his ego aside and changes his batting stance. As far as tonight, again, Brian Abreu gets the loss. 3 runs and 4 hits in that 9th inning, only getting 2/3 of an inning out. But here's what I'll say about that. Boy, oh boy, did I love hearing over and over by our guy Wayne Randazzo, who just loves to jinx everything and everybody. This guy's never given up 3 hits all year. This guy hasn't given up 4 hits all this year. This guy hasn't. Shut up! Call the game. Oh, he's annoying. Fire him too. I can't believe we actually interviewed him. He was pompous when we interviewed him as well. Now let's talk about Spritz O'Clock, because again, Mateo gets on here. He pre-games the Spritz O'Clock. And he says, I need a botanical spritz.
Yeah! I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Spritz O'Clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz O'Clock, let's pour some more. Spritz O'Clock, let's pour some more. Spritz O'Clock, let's pour some more.
I love winning, man. I fucking love winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and congratulations, Mateo. Your team won. Saucy says, I didn't think this team would win again. Mario says we won. And yeah, it's very difficult to see this team or think about this team winning because, again, they give you so much to crap on, and only 4 of these tonight. Yeah, it was bad. They should have won by, we need more wins. And
We won?
also, the team that we played didn't adjust to our game plan. There you go. You run the ball down their throat. We won a game. Q Lombardi and the Angels in the outfield. Just did the Angels in the outfield right now. Saw Q Lombardi. Again, the sound bites coming fast and furious. Also, we're so back. Get your honk out. Robert says we won. I stopped watching last week. Time for football. Also, with this win, the Angels have officially secured another guaranteed season of not losing 100 games. Also, that is so freaking sad, Matt. Florida State beat Alabama. Q Lombardi. And by the way, I had an opportunity to bet on that game. I was going to pick Florida State as an upset because I had a feeling about that one. No lie. And guess what? I should have bet on him. Balls, and Alabama gets unbeaten or beat. Upset. Maybe we need Todd as the new DH due to his impressive run production yesterday. I did have a loss of runs and a lot of runs. Let's fucking go. USC win and Halos win. Also Trojans and Halo victories. Marty checks in with, at times I feel like running on the field so I can get banned for life from the Big A. Then they produce a sweet win like this today. What the hell is going on? Baldwin says, when I divorced my ex-wife, I said the same thing. You got a lot of options. Mario says, was talking to my daughter. She mentioned how sad it is to watch Trout at bats. So depressing. Q Lombardi. It is. He's fallen off.
What the hell's going on out here?
Buckeyes 1-2. Tyler says their at-bats have been some of the most depressing ones I've ever seen. And that's coming from a season that was so bad last year. Also, Baldwin says Trout can't swing at anything down the plate. Peraza, but EQ said Johnny Washington is the best hitting coach ever, of course. Brandon says our hitting coach never played on an MLB game. Who the fuck thought this guy was going to lead to offensive success? Foolish. And that's what we've been saying, Brandon. The last few hitting coaches they've gotten have absolutely sucked. All it is they know how to put pen to paper and put numbers on a paper to make it look like it's all spectacular, or do a spreadsheet, because they obviously don't know how to play. They're the nerds' picks. Instead of picking awesome players with pedigrees, they pick assholes. Already sucks his player of the game, Mike Trout, only 1,000. Saucy says it's only a drop of good news, but the 66ers were 18-48 in the first half. The second half, they're likely able to win the division in a playoff spot. A tremendous feat. That is. Baldwin says, is Perry better than 3 cars in the parking lot? No. Marty says Artie has a mindset of pick up Walker Buehler and give him a crazy contract. It's the Angels' way. Josh says Peraza and Lugo are both 95 percentile in sprint speed and both have some potential with the bats. Marty says I have not and never will be a Perry all you can eat at the buffet Manassian fan. Rob says Soriano is a starter produced by Perry. That is true, but not so much after that. I would rather see Peraza and Lugo get at bats than Simo and Cavadis. Simo needs a hit, an adjustment as well. But again, we got to cut him some slack. He's a rookie. This is the best time of year besides Angels baseball. The Angels grandma says, we won a game. Hallelujah. Mateo also says, how is it Perry's fault is already telling him how to run things? He still can manipulate the numbers and sign guys. That's the thing. After that 20-3 loss, they should have just fired everyone in management. Why would Neto stick around for a team that gives up like that? Absolutely. Mateo says, Todd, apply for the Angels manager job. I would if it was open. Tony C says, Todd, you are the man at the great job. Smash the like button and share. I didn't watch the game. I was busy helping a friend out. A really good friend. It probably won't happen with a GM. He comes on the cheap. Yes, he does. Marty says, I'd rather have Perry the platypus out of Phineas and Phineas and Ferb, the general manager, rather than Fat-Ass Manassian. Frostblaze says, we won a game and the players actually showed up in Q Lombardi with some emotion. They did.
What the hell's going on out here?
A little bit. Also, Angels fan says, I know pitchers are better, but no one seems to desire to be an elite hitter, and that drives me nuts. That's what analytics do, Angels fan. Also, I was reading that Artie could spend millions of dollars, and the Artie Dennis Cool didn't stop K. Also, sign Zach Neto, or I followed Neto, no lie. Well, Neto's going to be a guy interesting to see if we get him signed up at the end of the season. Brandon says Artie didn't hire Johnny Washington, who had never played an MLB at bat. Dude lost his job in the KBL. Why the hell, or why do we think that was our guy? I don't know. Probably because of money. Angels need a new hitting coach and a pitching coach. They need all new coaches. When the rosters expand, I'd like to see Renifo get benched for the year and try out the utility infielder role with Peraza, Lugo, and Paris. And I'd like to see Kai Boom in there too, if you've seen Kai Boom's numbers. At the end of the day, Oswald, that ends Wald. Angels defeat the cheaters. Mario says, sell the team, sell the team, sell the team. Get your shit together and sell the team. Boy, oh boy, I wish I could sell this team. I wish I could.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Tamir 20 says Trout came through in the clutch with a walk, Q Lombardi. And that's about all he's done right now is if he can work a walk, he could do that. He's clutch for that.
What the hell's going on out here?
That's about it. Artie's fat. Well, not Artie, but our boy Perry's fat.
Fat son of a bitch is
Wait.
gonna drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Wait.
This fat son of a bitch is gonna drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Also, Angels pitching is horrible right there. Skull Kid says, and Peraza with that huge double. Let's see all the small things. Get a new coach too. I love Soriano and Kikuchi. The Angels grandma says we won 63 games last year. We have 63 now, and we still have a month to go. That's something to be proud of. That's our accomplishment for 2025. I agree with that Angels grandma, but I wanted 81 wins. I know you know in your heart of hearts this team could be a little bit better. Rob says best picks: DePoto, Ward, Fletcher, and Walsh, Epler, Adele, Marsh, Detmers, Wants, Perry, Neto, Shonawell, Dana. Still 2020. It's Artie. DePoto in Seattle had made 71 trades flipping guys for prospects, but it worked. And I know Artie wouldn't do that, but I wish. But you're right, Rob. I'm not disagreeing. Dinner. I should have what is it called? I should have Randy make one of those sirens, like woo, woo, dinner. Geez, you're saying he has to fit in the thong. Oh, jeez. Skull Kid says Bruce Bochy won 4 world championships with the Giants and Rangers. Yeah, he almost won one with the Padres. Let's see, Brad Ausmus was a terrible manager as well. Also, send Enright to Salt Lake. He's good at fixing pitchers, but he doesn't game plan with these teams' hitters. Again, Josh speaking of facts. Skull Kid says Angels need to get a target, Torrey Hunter or Albert Pujols for manager or for hitting coach. Baldwin says knock knock, land shark, baseball nerds. Exactly. Let's see. Also, it's very sad for the Angels batting 190 to 220. It is. It's been very sad to see. If it hadn't been, wrong way. Tony C says get rid of everyone except Neto, Shonawell. Everyone else can go. The front office will be gone. The problem is Artie, but we need to keep Perry. We can't keep changing GMs. It will set the Angels back for years. But I would say, though, how are we going to do that? Like we need a GM that's actually going to like the manager. I don't think the GM gets along with a manager. Jay Fine says, is Trout actually washed? He's not washed. He just needs to change his batting stance, but he's washed with this batting stance. Yes. So 50-50. Just say it. The Angels are not winning ball club and they never will be again. I'm not going to say it because it can be. Rob says, Todd, don't skip my comment. I will get Yaz to screenshot that thong pic and put it on Hardy's billboard outside the stadium. I dare you. Dare you, Rob. Marty says, stop it. The season starts tomorrow. Yes, it does.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
27 games left, I think. I hope the Padres and Brewers win the World Series this year. Either one I'd be happy with. Rob sounding like Grill Master. Also, Tony C says Angels need to forget about Artie. We need a new manager. Yes, we can't get a new GM. We'll for sure get a good manager. Need to act like Artie is not in the picture. That's what we got to do. He's fat right there. Another one of these references.
This fat son of a bitch is going to drown us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat.
Damn, USC's up 73 to 13. That's still close. Also, Travis d'Arnaud is an everyday catcher and Hoppy to third or a Hoppy to first. I don't know. Let Perry get some players, have Artie sign some checks and get the hell out of the way. Torrey Hunter and Benji Gill. That is if Tim Salmon would be the hitting coach. Tim Salmon doesn't want that limelight. I know Torrey or Benji Gill, I think would be great. Great picks. Todd, can I ask you a serious question? What's wrong with the Angels going on a 25-year playoff drought? I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to go that long. There is a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tomorrow. Who said that? I know we just played that a second ago. But
we got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
I wouldn't mind Torrey Hunter at all, to be honest. Grillmaster says, "Babe, don't call me Babe Grill. Don't do that. Don't do that either, Mateo. You see what you guys are doing?" Kroom's Car says, "Just left the SC game. They were up 56-13 at the time." Mario says, "Neto should hold out in free agency and sign with the Yankees. I wanted to see him play in the playoffs and not waste his time on the Halos." Hey, that's sad, man. I want to see him waste his time here.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
What the hell's going on out here?
The owner is the problem, guys, but I think if it doesn't work out the way we think it is in the next couple months and they do not force that audit or he doesn't get screwed, we got to act like, he's going to be with him for a good while and hope that other things can change around him or under him. I don't like it any more than you do. Robert says they could be way better than they are, but they just don't show up half the time. They don't, and they have stupid at-bats and stupid approaches. Super sticker from Robert. Thank you so much right there. Kylo says, "Does this team still wear the firefighter helmet if they are losing by 20? Good question, but I'd love to see it. And then obviously you have running up his butt right now is our boy Grill Master. If I can find it real quick, where is it? I should just put that at the top, man, because he always winds up calling for it at least once. And I have the other ones right here. I wonder if he got rid of that one. I know I put it up here at the top. It's hard to see now on these.
Call me a bootlicking houseman all you want. I don't give a damn. Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old balls and running up my butt right now. You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos choked on me. He was so great.
Okay, Roger. Damn. Robert says, "Thanks for all your hard work this year. Thank you so much for being here as well." Don says, "Oh, wonderful. No YouTube alert, Stukas." If you guys aren't getting the YouTube alert, just click it off and then click it back on again. I heard that works, but I'm not sure. What's for dinner, babe? Will you stop calling me babe? September call-ups, Nelson Rada and Kate and Dana. They got to be. Go Hawks indeed. Brian says, "Light that baby up." Hell yeah. Also, Luke Johnson says, "Let's go. Sell a team. Pound sand, Artie." Hey, let's all talk about some yummy tasting nuts, and congratulations on 380 yards rushing the other night, Mateo. Let's hear from Gavin as he plays us out.
On everybody, my name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area.
I got my friend here in my bedroom, my childhood house, and I really, really, really want that.
How about a yummy tasting nut?
I got to bend over and find it. I know he's front and center. Why not pull it out so you guys can see it? But looks good from behind too. Oh my goodness.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh man, it feels great. Oh,
that's
yummy.
Disgusting.
Oh, how about a yummy? Oh, come on, magic. Oh my goodness, guys, tasting nut.
See, that makes me happy after a loss. Okay, Luke says, "Where do we hang the most strikeouts season banner?" I don't think we have banners. I think we should put the flag out there, run it up the flagpole in center field, Luke. By the way, thank you, Mateo. On the Unfiltered Sports podcast, we're going to be doing football, and obviously, and we're going to be picking starting Tuesday. If you want to get in your last-minute opportunity to play with us, calling games all year, just send the $20 over to us, and you'll get your spot in there. And if you win, you get a grand prize jersey of your choice at the end of the year. The best pick'ems, or you get second place gets a shirt of their choice or a hat at third place. It's going to be on here. We're going to have it on TikTok and on YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. Our football prediction show and recap. And as far as everything else going, I think I got the bat signal. I got to go eat dinner. So I am late as I was catching up with the comments, but I appreciate everyone still sticking around because this season has been another tough one to watch. There's been some bright spots, but so many bad spots. And again, I say fire them all. Fire them all. I know we don't all agree, but I think we need to start over. And we'll see what happens. And no, Mario, I'm not babe, especially to you guys. So with that being said, catch us on the Unfiltered Sports football podcast Tuesday evening around 7 p.m. We'll go live, and you could see us and get a feel of the show, and then we'll have our first recap on the next one. And then after that, we'll see. Before that, we'll see you tomorrow, right after the game at 4:00 or somewhere around there. It depends on the time, and we'll have the opportunity to recap the finale of this game. And then we'll be, unlike Locked on Cox, we'll be at the series to watch games starting next week. Final couple comments. Corey says, I heard Artie might not spend billions, just millions on the Skag case. Yeah, I think it's going to be about, I don't know, about 100 million, 200 million. He's not going to lose too much there, according to what he's got. But it's worrying about the audit. The audit's the one that could kill him. See, also, Baldwin says D's nuts. We'll play us out with some D's nuts, and then we'll move on from here. So again, we'll be back tomorrow, and then just getting close to that football show, man. I can't wait, dude. Football is right around the corner, and no more, it'll kind of get us away from this Angels team that we've been watching all year, because they used to be good. And again, I used to just get into football week 4 or 5 when the Angels were done.
These nuts. Got him. Got him.
So I'll play us out with some Stukas. Everybody have a good rest of your Saturday evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.